Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candles, one light stays aglow. It's the love light in your eyes wherever you go.
Everybody again.
Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candles, one light stays aglow. It's the love light in your eyes. It's the love light in your eyes wherever you go.
One more time for
Okay,
everybody.
let's sing it one more time for everybody who has a birthday this year.
Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candles, one light stays aglow. It's the love light in your eyes wherever you go.
Right here when you blow the candles.
You blow out the candles, one light stays aglow. It's the love light in your eyes wherever you
Woo! That was beautiful. What beautiful voices you all have, and thank you so much for singing with me. That was fantastic. Let's read a book. How about that? So before I read this, I need to tell you a story about this book. When I was just a little itsy bitsy teeny weeny kitty cat. When I was just a little itty bitsy teeny weeny kitty cat, my mommy would read me this book before I went to bed, and I always loved this book. And then I grew up to be a big cat, and I would like to read this book to my friends and to my students, and I just love this book. Has anybody read this book before? Somebody read? When I was teaching in my class, we'd go like this instead of go, oh, I read that. We'd go like this. And that just showed that we read the book, and then we don't, it's not too loud. Yeah, so if you read this book like that, I love this book. Not too many people read it, so it's perfect. We're going to read Horton Hatches the Egg. I just think Horton is such a nice character, and I love this book. So let's read Horton Hatches the Egg. Are you ready? Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, let it out. Sighed Maisie, a lazy bird hatching an egg. Oh, I'm tired, not bored, and I've got kinks in my legs. From just sitting there day after day. It's work, how I hate it. I'd much rather play. I'd take a vacation if I offer a rest. If I could find someone to sit on my nest. If I could find someone, I'd fly away free. Then Horton the elephant passed by her tree. Hello, called the lazy bird, smiling her best. You've nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on the egg in my nest? The elephant laughed. Why, of all silly things, I haven't feathers and I haven't wings. Me on your egg? Why, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and I'm so immense. Tut tut, answered Maisie. I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Just sit on it softly. You're gentle and kind. Come be a good fellow. I know you won't mind. Oh, I can't, said the elephant. Please, begged the bird. I won't be gone long, sir. I give you my word. I'll hurry right back. Why, I'll never be missed. Very well, said the elephant. Since you insist, you want a vacation, go fly off and take it. I'll sit on your egg, and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and be faithful. I mean what I say. Toodaloo, sang out Maisie and fluttered away. The first thing to do, murmured Horton, let's see, the first thing to do is to prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done. Before I get on it, I must weigh a ton. Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the little egg slept. Then Horton the elephant smiled, "Now that is that." And he sat, and he sat, and he sat, and he sat. And he sat all that day and he kept the egg warm, and he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured and it lightened, it thundered, it rumbled. "Well, this isn't much fun." The poor elephant grumbled. "I wish she'd come back, 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird doesn't forget." But Maisie by this time was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off in Palm Beach, and having such fun, such a wonderful rest, decided she'd never go back to her nest. So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn, the leaves blew away. And then came the winter, the snow and the sleet, and icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze, "I'll stay on this egg and I will let it freeze. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through, and then came the springtime with troubles anew. His friends gathered round and they shouted with glee, "Hey, look, Horton the elephant is up in a tree." They taunted, they teased him, they yelled, "How absurd! Horton the elephant, he thinks he's a bird." They laughed and they all ran away. And Horton was lonely, he wanted to play. But he sat on the egg and continued to say, "I meant what I said and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. No matter what happens, this egg must be tended." But poor Horton's troubles were far, far from ended. For all Horton sat there so faithful, so kind, and hunters came sneaking up softly behind. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. 3 rifles were aiming right straight at his heart. Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high, and he threw out his chest, and he looked at the hunters as much as to say, "Shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. But the men didn't shoot, much to Horton's surprise. They dropped their 3 guns and they stared with wide eyes. "Look!" they all shouted. "Can such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree? It's strange. It's amazing. It's wonderful. New. Don't shoot him. We'll catch him. That's just what we'll do. Let's take him alive while he's terribly funny. We'll sell him back home to a circus for money." And the first thing he knew, they had built a big wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up his tree and they put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried. "We're off!" the men shouted, and off they all went, with Horton unhappy 100%. Up out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountain 10,000 feet high. Then down the mountains and down to the sea went the cart with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree. Then out of the wagon and onto a ship, and over the ocean, and oh, what a trip, rolling and tossing and splashed with the spray. And Horton said day after day after day, "I meant what I said. I said what I meant. But oh, I am seasick 100%. After bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York. "All ashore," the men shouted, and down with a lurch went Horton the elephant, still on his perch, tied onto a board that could just scarcely hold him. Bump. Horton landed, and then the men sold him. Sold to a circus, then week after week, they showed him to people at 10 cents a peek. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington too. To Dayton, Ohio, St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota. And everywhere, thousands of folks flocked to see and laughed at the elephant up in a tree. Poor Horton grew sadder the farther he went, but he said as he sat in the hot, noisy tent. Do you remember what Horton says? I can say it with me. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful, 100%. Perfect. Then one day, the circus show happened to reach a town way down south, not so far from Palm Beach. And dawdling along way up high in the sky, who of all people should chance to fly by, but that, good-for-nothing bird runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy. And spying the flags in the tents just below, she sang out, "What fun! Why, I'll go to the show." And she swooped from the clouds through an open tent door. "Good gracious!" gasped Maisie. "I've seen you before." Poor Horton looked up with his face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk, there rang out the noisiest, ear-splitting squeaks from the egg that had sat on for 51 weeks. A thumping, a bumping, a wild, alive scratching. "My egg!" shouted Horton. "My egg! Why, it's hatching." "But it's mine!" screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack. The work was all done. Now she wanted it back. "It's my egg!" she sputtered. "You stole it from me. Get off of my nest and get out of my tree." Did he steal the egg from her? No way. Poor Horton backed down with a sad, heavy heart. But at the very instant, the egg burst apart, and out of the pieces of red and white shell, from the egg that he'd sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears, and a tail, and a trunk, just like his. And the people came shouting, "Hey, what's all this about?" They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. Then they cheered and they cheered and they cheered more and more. They'd never seen anything like it before. "My goodness, my gracious," they shouted, "my word, it's something brand new. It's an elephant bird." And it should be. It should be. It should be like that. Because Horton was faithful. He sat and he sat. He meant what he said. And he said what he meant. And they sent him home happy. 100%. You like that story?
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? Now you know why when I was just a little bitty, itsy teeny weeny kitty cat, and my mommy would read me this story, I would just love it so much, and I've loved it my whole life ever since. Can we sing another song? You guys want to sing another song? Excellent. This song is super fun. It's called The Library Song, and it's a really fun song. But I will need some help with the library song. Yep, it's the library song. Can you help me with it? This is also written by the same gentleman who wrote the Happy Birthday song. He's our librarian. That's by Tom Chapin. And you'll pick it up as it goes along, but it starts like this: Saturday morning and the rain is pouring. So I need some people to help if I can get some volunteers. I need somebody who's big and strong and can hold my dictionary for me. Right there. You look big and strong. Come here. Hurry, hurry. What are you waiting for? Christmas? Move it. Come on. All right. You're going to stand over here, and you're going to hold the dictionary like that. And every time it says, going to say hi to the dictionary, we're all going to wave. And you're going to hold the dictionary up. Very easy, okay? Very good. And who wants me to go? You? With the Pooh? Okay, Pooh Bear. Come stand right here. Come stand right here. Pooh Bear. Yeah, perfect. Excellent. Is anybody really tired? Yeah, big yawn. Yeah, yawn for me. Go like this. Oh, perfect. Come here. Come here. Come over here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's Sleeping Beauty. Come like this. Oh, perfect. When you hear Sleeping Beauty, you can stand right there. When you hear Sleeping Beauty, give us a big yawn like that. Now, I don't know, when I was a little itty bitty kitty and was reading, we read about Madeline, this young lady, but kids don't read about Madeline as much anymore. So if you haven't read this book, it's super fun. Would you like to be Madeline for me? Yes? Okay. Here, pull Madeline. You can scoot your chair back a little bit and go right there. Okay. Okay, you want to be the cat in the hat? Oh, he's so handsome, isn't he? Okay, you can sit in your chair, that's fine. Go sit over here behind Madeline. You're going to be the cat in the hat. Now, as this comes up, it goes really quickly. So when you hear dictionary or Madeline or cat in the hat, hold your thing up, yawn, do whatever you need to do. Okay. Now, raise your hand if you have a really big nose. Perfect, come here. She doesn't have, your nose is not big. Your nose is the perfect size for your face. I love your nose. You're going to stand over here. In literature, who has a big nose? Whose nose grows? What's his name? Pinocchio. You'll be Pinocchio, okay? So when you hear Pinocchio, you go like this. Whoa! I know you don't tell lies. We'll make believe. Whoa, you got a big nose. Okay. Smile. Smile. Ooh, Cheshire Cat. Come here. Do you know the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
Sits in the tree. It's like just pretty much just a big smile. Excellent. You can be right next to the cat in that. Smile for me again. Perfect. That's the Cheshire Cat with a beautiful smile. Now I need 7 dwarves. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Yeah, all 7 dwarves go over there. Go over there. All as many as we said. Yeah. 7, 7, 7. Go. If I put, yeah, come on. More. I need more dwarves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. 6. Yeah, come on. 7. Yeah, come on. 7. I got 7. Yeah, I got 7. Oh, perfect. All right. That's 7, right? Yeah, close enough. They're my 7 dwarves. Hey, 7 dwarves, when you hear your names, move over a little bit so that Cheshire Cat smile. You can see Cheshire Cat smile. You're going to be like this. Do you remember the 7 dwarves? Whistle while we work, right? They're going to be like that. And now I need Miss Cinderella, the belle of the ball. Who wants to be Cinderella? Yeah, come on. You want to be Cinderella? Yes. Okay, come on. Hurry up. Hurry. Cinderella, you're going to be like that. Excellent. Right over here, Cinderella. And now this is another book that kids just don't read anymore. You know this book, Babar?
Yes.
What kind of animal is he?
Elephant.
Just like Horton. Very good. You want to be Babar, the elephant? Come here. Hold that. And when you hear that, you can hold up your book. You can also go like this because you're an elephant. Very good. And then who likes to ask lots of questions? Who's very curious? What character is that in a book that asks all? He's very curious. Curious? Who said it? Somebody said George. You want to be Curious George? All right, come here. Very good. You can stand right here next to Babar. Yeah, Curious George. And when you hear Curious George, you go like this. Your name is George? All right, you can be Curious George too. Excellent. Okay, I need just one more character for this. One more. Hi, come here.
Oh, no, it's okay.
We need you. Come on. You guys want your teacher to come up here? Yeah. Sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, introducing, for your listening and watching pleasure, Mother Goose. Come on, Mother Goose. All right, that's all good. Come on. All right. I'm sorry, we need you. Your audience wanted you, okay? You can stand right over there to these guys. This is Mother Goose, okay? So everybody ready to sing the library song? It's gonna come very quickly. It's gonna come very quickly. So when everybody wave the dictionary, Madeline, smile, yeah, very good. Do all your parts. It happens really quickly. It starts Saturday morning and the rain is pouring. We can do this. So that's not a bother at all. And we'll do this. And we'll do that.
Sunday morning and the rain is pouring. Dad worked late last night he's in there snoring. Same old stuff on TV, boring. So what if I can't go out and play? I know what I'll do today.
Everybody, I'm going down to the library.
I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Now I like books and they like me, so when I go to the library, I sit down in my favorite chair and check to see who's there.
Winnie the Pooh.
Maybe
Hold on, Winnie
one
the Pooh,
book,
Winnie the Pooh.
maybe two. Take me home, says Winnie the Pooh. And if we have to travel far, I'll bring my honey jar.
Everybody.
Oh, I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out.
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping
Perfect.
Beauty yawned and said, I'll come
Now, Madeline.
right out of bed. But Madeline says, let her nap, and jumps into my lap. Cat in the Hat says, hey, I'll go. Don't take him, cries Pinocchio. Don't take that cat to your address. He always makes a mess. Oh, I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Mrs. Parker's back behind the checkout desk today. The Cheshire Cat jumps on her head and says, let's play. But Mrs. P says, goodness, are you sure you want all these? Oh yes, we shout together. She says, shh, quiet, please. I'm going down to the library, taking out a book, check it in, check it out.
Seven Dwarfs, get ready.
Say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out.
Seven Dwarfs.
The seven dwarfs begin to shout, say, take us in, check us out. Then Cinderella gets her gown and Babar grabs his crown. Then Curious George swings from the shelf. Along comes Mother Goose herself. Out the door we danced and sang, the whole library rang. Oh, I'm going down to the library, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. Gonna say hi to the dictionary, picking out a book, check it in, check it out. I'm going down to the library. Shh. Check it in, check it out.
Let's go. Nice. Good job, Mother Goose. Very good. All right, if you have one of my things, put it over here. Go and sit down. Excellent, excellent. That was fun. That was fun. You can put that over there. I really enjoyed it. All right, this is one of my favorite books of all time. Not just Dr. Seuss books. One of my favorite books of all time. It's called The Lorax. I love this book.
That's the bookstore.
Excellent.
Right here.
Yep. Can you hear me? Excellent. All right, here we go. Deep breath. Good, you can let it out. At the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the Lipton Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood just as long as it could before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows. The old Onceler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his door. He lurks in his lurkum cold under the roof, and he makes his own clothes out of muffed moof. And on special date midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great, great, great grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grovelous glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by wisdom of phone, For the secrets I tell you, they're for your ears alone. Down slips the whisper on the phone to your ear, and the old one's whispers are not very clear. It says they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean. And the song of the Swami Swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffle of trees, the bright colored tufts of the truffle of trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffle of fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffle of trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffle of tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked, I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I'd chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him, that's hard, I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy. And he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I'm the Lorax, I speak for the trees, I speak for the trees, for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed, what's that thing you've made out of my truffle a tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cars for a lawn. I chopped just one tree, I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's to find something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers, for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, sir, you're crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who would buy all that fool thneed. But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Munster family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast, take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch. And in no time at all in the factory I built, the whole Munster family was working full tilt. We're all knitting thneeds just as busy as bees to the sound of the chopping of the truffle of trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffle of trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before. And the Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I'm the Lorax, I speak for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating truffle of fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle of fruits to go around. And my poor barbaloots are all getting the crummies, because they have gas, and no food in their tummies. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. The Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but hey, business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads. Of the needs I shipped out, I was shipping them north, to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs.
Not everyone.
Then again he came back, I was fixing some pipes, when an old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax. He coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled, he snarled, he sniffed. Onceler! He cried with a truffle in his throat. Onceler! You're making such smoggless smoke. My poor Swami Swams, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax, his dander was up. Let me say a few words about Gluppity Glup. Machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making Gluppity Glup and also Schloppity Schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed, so I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, hey, now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering, and biggering, and biggering, and biggering, turning more truffle trees into needs, which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffle tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, every one, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smothered stars. Now all that was left beneath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad, sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years when my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds. And truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care. Give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. You like that story? Yeah. That's great. He really did a great job with that, and you really see how each creature is connected to others, right? When he chopped down the trees, the brown barbaloots didn't have any fruit, and the swami swans didn't have any air, and the fish couldn't be in the pond. Yes, sweetheart. You watched the movie? Was it good? Excellent. Good. Well, thank you all so much. You've just been such an amazing audience. I appreciate you, Mr. Welton. It's so good to see you. So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the hottest class.
Great singing. Thanks for singing and listening. Awesome.